Are you ready for a deck that draws so many cards that you almost run out of cards? Then this is the deck for you. It's a lot of fun to play. I have a great time. I'm actually thinking about running this at some local tournaments. So let's go ahead and look at the deck itself, and then we'll get into some gameplay with it. We have, for our 1-drops, 4 copies of Chernabog's Followers and 3 copies of Pascal, along with our 3 copies of Pawpsicle, giving us 10 1-drops. Then we have our 2-drops, Kuzco, good for drawing cards. We have 4 snakes, good for bouncing things back to our hand. And we have 3 Pinocchios, which let us exert opposing characters to take care of threats. That gives us those 10 2-drops. Then on to our 3-drops, we have the Fox, which is a staple in these kind of decks. We have 4 of those, along with 3 Maleficent Sorceress for drawing cards again. Crab for giving us Challenger and being able to take out some threats. It's perfect to be able to give Challenger to things like Pinocchio or Kuzco and then trade into some larger things, giving us valuable trades. We have 3 copies of Judy Hopps for taking care of opponents' items, and 4 copies of Mickey for increasing our inkwell as quickly as we can. Then for our 4-drops, we have 3 copies of Merlin the Goat, 4 copies of Merlin the Rabbit, which is super important as you'll see in these videos today. And then we have 3 copies of Hiram for drawing our cards by getting rid of our Pawpsicle. I know it's odd that we only have 3 copies or 3 items total in the deck, but it does still work. You'll see that again later in the video. For more 4-drops, we have 6 locations. So we have 3 Queen's Castles and 3 McDuck Manors. We also had, for 3-drops, Friends on the Other Side. Forgot to mention that one for drawing cards. And then we have 3 larger drops. We have 2 copies of Yzma and 1 copy of Hades. I'm thinking of potentially adding 1 more Hades into the deck. He is quite useful. It's just that sometimes he gets stuck in your hand as he's a large, uninkable card. Now let's go ahead and get into the videos. I really think you'll enjoy these. The deck is, again, so much fun to play. But let's go ahead and get into gameplay. We are matched up against Red Blue, which is the winner of that recent tournament, the 10K tournament that was on Pixelborn. So it's getting even more popularity now, it seems. Let's go ahead and get rid of Yzma and Kuzco. We don't need the Merlins right now. We need to look for a 1-drop and a 3-drop besides Friends. Hopefully we can get that. We did get a Rabbit. We got a couple of 3-drops. No 1-drop. That's unfortunate. Especially against something like Red Blue. We'll keep at least 1 Judy Hopps here to try to get rid of their items. Especially Fishbone Quill. Probably the most important card to get rid of. If they ink Hiram, they most likely have another. We don't need 2 Kuzcos. Let's go ahead and drop 1 down. Key here, we do have plenty of draw card things in our hand. Also a Fox to bounce back our Rabbit, or Judy if we need it. Would be nice to get a different 3-drop. I really don't want to use Judy Hopps. So I think what we're going to have to do is go ahead and ink this Hiram and then just use our Fox right now. Now would be the turn that they could play that Fishbone Quill. There it is. That way we can get rid of that with Judy Hopps. Lots of items. So Hiram is going to be important to get rid of. Hopefully we can draw into a Pinocchio. We are running 3 of those. Let's ink Kuzco. That way we can get down Judy Hopps and our Pawpsicle. Get rid of that quill. They do get to draw a card off it, but super important to have that gone. Pinocchio would be nice. Still no Pinocchio. Pinocchio would let us exert their Hiram, which they're probably going to play right now. Or Maui. Okay. We do have our own Hiram. And another Pawpsicle, so that's nice. So let's go ahead and ink our Chernabog's followers. We can sing that with Judy. And then get down another Pawpsicle. So like I said earlier, this deck does draw lots and lots of cards, which is super nice. They do need to take down, there's their Hiram. Take down our Judy with their Maui, but that'll be a trade. I figured it was better to sing friends rather than just swing into their Maui. Still haven't drawn into a Pinocchio. Alright, we did draw into a Hades though, that's cool. Alright, first let's quest with Flaversham, get us some more cards. Did draw into another Pawpsicle. We'll ink the Chernabog's followers. Would love to get Mickey out right now. Unfortunately, we don't have any other 2 drops. Or sorry, rather 3 drops. So let's instead just play Rabbit. There's our Pinocchio. Too little too late, but that's okay. We can get down Pascal and our Pawpsicle. We should, hypothetically, be able to take out their Flaversham next turn, unless they decide to board wipe. See Gaston. That also would be nice to get rid of. But Flaversham is going to be target number 1 right now. They're going to ink a Maleficent. Continue to draw through their cards so they can get exactly what they want. Alright, so now we have a lot of choices here. I do want to hit... Before I do that, let's quest with Flaversham. See all of our options. Interesting thing about Lorcana, compared to other games, there's no hand size. So we can draw as many cards as we want. Let's go ahead and bring Rabbit back, and then we can take out the Flaversham. Let's get rid of our Snake. And we can go ahead and drop down McDuck Manor, make them kind of think about some things, force their hand a little bit into maybe playing a Maui. We do have multiple goats in our hand. Good lore generation, as well as multiple rabbits. There goes Tamatoa. They could play Maleficent now, so they are at 9, but that would only get rid of one thing from our board. Ah, they go with a Scar. Okay, so they can get rid of Flaversham and our Fox if they so choose. Or they could just hit McDuck Manor for 6. hitting Fox would take out Scar. We're in a decent spot, though, especially looking at hand size. As we have, what's that, 10 cards? More than I can count. Alright, so they are able to take care of McDuck Manor. We can also wipe their board. Let's go ahead and do that. We can take out Scar. Quest with Pascal before we bring him back. And then we can take out Gaston. Let's ink Maleficent. That way we can get out a goat and our Pascal, just in case they have something like Lady Tremaine. We do want to have 2 targets out. That way we can sacrifice Pascal instead of Merlin the goat. We do have Hades if they decide to drop something huge like a Maleficent. Would also love to draw into another location. Drops another Gaston. And Hiram, okay. Still don't think I've seen a crab, which is interesting, considering we've drawn through half our deck. Alright, so I would love to get rid of that Gaston right now, so let's go ahead and drop in Pinocchio. And we can trade Goat. Get rid of their 3 lore gainer and gain us a lore in the process. We can go ahead and ramp a little bit and get down a rabbit. Now they may board wipe here. I'm actually pretty much expecting it since we have 4 characters on board, but none of them are really very expensive characters, and we would get to draw a card from rabbit. If they don't, we can use Mickey to sing Friends on the Other Side. And we could also bring rabbit back to our hand with our snake. Opponent's thinking about it. So they've drawn through almost half their deck. They're down to 32. We're down to 28. It's pretty cool that we can outdraw something like red-blue, which is based around drawing cards. They do play their Be Prepared. There's a crab. Only took us 33 cards. Alright, so they wiped our board, so we can go ahead and start replacing. Get out our goat. Get out our rabbit. And we can go ahead and just bring rabbit back. Again, keep our hand nice and full. I'd like to get out that Pascal, but I don't want to ink anything else. So let's just ink that. They have 4 cards in hand. Madame Medusa, they're able to get rid of our snake. They can't touch goat with that. They can touch it with that. The nice thing about the Madame Mim and Merlin pair is they are when leave play. So even Let It Go or Hades, they still gain the lore. Same thing with Rabbit. You still draw the card. It's just when they leave play. Most cards are when they're banished, which is a completely different ballgame. Alright, so we do have... We're running out of characters here. We need to draw some more. we can get down our Queen's Castle. Like Kuzco here is when banished. I don't think we need to ink. Go ahead and put Kuzco on the Queen's Castle. And we won't ink this turn. Opponent's down to 3 cards in hand. Still have our Hades, in case they drop that Maleficent. Or their own Hades. There goes Kuzco, so we don't get to draw that card, unfortunately. They are down to 1 card in hand. Alright, so we can go ahead, let's use Crab on Chernabog's followers to get rid of their Medusa. We can take care of Queen of Hearts with Merlin Rabbit. And then take care of their Hades with Hades. Let's just say, or rather, hardcast our friends. Looks like we have pretty solid control here. There's Lucky Dime and Shield of Virtue. So we should have this in the bag. We'll return on Merlin Rabbit. Continue our insane card draw. We are down to 16 cards in our deck. We can play out another castle just to ensure that victory. And there it is. Got a win. Let's go ahead and roll it back. It is pretty insane being able to draw that many cards, but it's a lot of fun. If you're enjoying the content during this intermission, don't forget to hit that like button down there. I'd really appreciate it. We are playing against Ruby Amethyst. Going first. So similar opening, no 1-drop, so we do want to look for that. We do have 2 Maleficents and 2 Snakes, so let's drop one of each of those. We'll keep, we do need a 1-drop, otherwise Snake is useless. That is a rough draw. Alright, we're going to have no turn 1 and no turn 2. Unless we're able to draw into something. Alright, we can ink. Let's get rid of Judy Hopps. They probably don't have any items other than maybe Maui's Fishhook. At least Mickey turn 3. Really not the start we want to get off to. But hopefully we can recover. At least they did not have a turn 2. Of course we get our turn 2 now. Go ahead and play out that Mickey. Ramp up a little bit. Would be nice to see a rabbit come in. Or friends on the other side would be nice too. Ramp up our hand. They get a Maleficent. They go ahead and quest with Rafiki. So what we can do, a couple options here. Let's go ahead and crab into Mickey. Take care of the Rafiki. And then we can return that to our hand. That way we can ramp again. Running a little short on cards. We do have Maleficent that can draw us 1. Queen's Castle can, but usually something like Queen's Castle is taken care of rather quickly. Especially by this guy right here. Right on point. I go with a rabbit. Sing Friends, interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and ink McDuck Manor. Take care of their Maleficent. We can quest with Crab, and then let's get out Queen's Castle and put our characters on it. It's a good chance they have a Maui. They could trade their rabbit into snake and then potentially Maui crab. Or just play Maui down and hit both into Queen's Castle. Or maybe they don't have a Maui. I assume they do, though. With that many cards in hand and they inked one, I would assume they have another one. Yep, here it comes. Or Fox. That works, too. But that's not going to take out Queen's Castle. Will we get to draw 2 extra cards? Yes, we will. That's going to help us out a lot. So we get the 2 lore and 2 extra cards, which is wonderful. We can use our snake, trade with Fox. Drop a Maleficent to draw a card. We can quest with our crab. Unfortunately, Pinocchio is going to take out our Queen's Castle. There's nothing we can do about that. Let's go ahead and drop down a second Maleficent before we do our inking. We'll ink Chernabog's followers. Do need to be cognizant about turn 7 board wipe as you get to enjoy the ambulance outside. Madame Medusa going for crab. Another Maleficent. Alright, so we can hit Pinocchio. Drop out another Maleficent. Continue that card draw. Ink one of these Judy Hops. That only gives us 5. Go ahead and get out Mickey. We'll quest with that Maleficent just in case they decide to drop their board wipe on this turn. Try not to drop anything too valuable on the board, just to incentivize them not to. But they are going to quest, which likely means it's coming. There it is. There's a rabbit, which is perfect for us. And we can go ahead and just bring it right back to hand. Keep our hand full. Another rabbit. Can ink one fox, and we'll just get out Judy Hopps just to have another presence on the board. There's another Medusa. Alright, so we can drop down another rabbit. And another rabbit. And we'll drop out Pawpsicle. I could have played Mickey Mouse there. But I don't want to put too much out on the board. There's a decent chance they have another board wipe. They've drawn 21 cards out of their deck. They might not have one, but I'd rather not risk it. And if they do it right now... Ah, Maui, okay. Another rabbit. Alright, we will trade in to take out the Maui. That way we can get out McDuck Manor. Use our Flaversham, draw some cards. Exactly what we want to do. Go ahead and ink Kuzco. And then we can get out a goat and a McDuck Manor. And again, let's quest with Rabbit just to give them options, potentially make them not attack McDuck Manor. That 2 lore generation is really helpful. And we do have another rabbit in our hand. They do go for it. We have Hades in case they decide to drop anything big. Interesting thing for me this round, there goes Flaversham, is they haven't been inking since they hit 7. So we do have a huge ink advantage. We can quest with Goat. Drop out Rabbit. And then we can bring both of those back to our hand. We can trade with Medusa. That way they still can't take out McDuck Manor unless they have a Maui. And then let's go ahead and get out Mickey. Give us even more lore. Or ink, rather. Sorry. Up 11 to 4. We have double the ink in our inkwell. We are down to 22 cards in our deck. They get their own rabbit. We definitely want to start to go for lore and the win as we get closer to the end of our deck, but we do have 2 from McDuck Manor. We also have 2 goats in our hand, and we can return. So we can go goat, pop it back to the hand, and then go goat, goat. And that should be about it. No matter what happens now, those goats are guaranteed 1 lore each, which guarantees us the win. There we go. Alright, there are 2 more videos on the screen if you'd like to continue watching. Otherwise, don't forget to sub to the channel, and we'll see you again next time.